Yeah, this is going to be caution plate gate. A couple days late, I know, but I frankly did not care for the way the California race ended, the one at Fontana, California. As the drivers were racing back toward the white flag, a mysterious debris caution came out. And I'm going to include a link to an article in the description. I'm not sure of the website. I can't read it right now because I'm using the webcam. But Kurt Busch and Kevin Harvick appeared to be racing for the win, with possibly Dale Earnhardt Jr. Of course, I admit I'm a Junior fan, sneaking in there. If, say, Harvick tried to go low and Busch tried to block, who knows what could happen if they'd raced back under them circumstances. But just before the white flag came out, they threw a caution for unseen debris. And of course, almost everybody pitted, and Brad Keselowski was the only one that got 4 tires, or one of the few. Then they had another caution, which was legitimate because in the mess on the restart, Kyle Larson's back bumper got knocked off. Now, they had to throw it for that. I'm not arguing that one. But I'm arguing the caution as they were the first caution, the caution that caused the first green-white checkered, I don't believe was necessary. The debris was never shown on TV. Now, I'm not a Brad Keselowski fan, but hey, I'm not a Kurt Busch fan either. Although I do respect Stewart-Haas Racing, and frankly, I very frankly admit I can't stand Roger Penske. You can check my Penske Gate vlog on the Dave Marcus situation back in the 70s. I've had a long-standing hate for the man. I actually, when none of his cars made the Indy 500 a few years ago, thought it was funny. But I believe NASCAR, 2 things. They do not want Kurt Busch to win. It would be egg on their face. He was suspended for 3 races, which was wrong. He was never charged. He got suspended before all the facts came out. Number 2, NASCAR, I believe, this is my opinion only, is afraid of Roger Penske. If you are old enough to remember in the late 70s when CART, Championship Auto Racing Team, split off from USAC, one of the main movers and shakers in that was Roger Penske. It pretty much led to what we have the IndyCar of today. Of course, Penske's a long-time IndyCar owner. He was in NASCAR from 72 till 77-ish and got out and run a few races, then came back with Rusty Wallace and has been in ever since. I'm not arguing that. If he wants to be in NASCAR, he can. But you got to remember, NASCAR also at one time, our International Speedway Corporation, which all goes back to the France family, which is NASCAR, was at one time in partnership with Roger Penske on definitely the California track, which Penske actually built that track, the Michigan track, which Penske owned at one time before the International Speedway Corporation / NASCAR / the France family bought him out. But I honestly believe they did not want Kurt Busch to win that race. Kurt Busch is restricted from what he can say in a public interview because he's on indefinite probation, which I do not understand. No charges filed. I do not understand him having to go through the road to recovery. He should have been reinstated immediately. In fact, NASCAR's, I've said this on another vlog, should pay him for the races he missed by where the car finished, what percentage he lost, if he lost any salary during that time. They should pay him. They would have to ask about his contract, but he did mention something on the radio, according to some reports. I did not hear this. At home, I listened to Dale Jr. on the NASCAR.com RaceView Track Pass, and he said WWE, which of course refers to pro wrestling, which I'm not going to make fun of because I used to go to the Louisville Gardens every Tuesday night. Yes, I admit that. But it was a show. I knew it, but I frankly just think NASCAR wanted to control the outcome of that race. They didn't want Hendrick engine cars winning 4 races in a row. And why didn't they throw the caution on the last lap when Biffle spun? I think it was Biffle. It don't matter who it was. Before Keselowski passed Busch. For that matter, look at Daytona. Why did they throw the caution on the last lap and not at California? In fact, had they been consistent and not throw some of the cautions, you might have Hendrick engine cars winning every race this year. Pure and simple, because you had Kevin Harvick and Dale Earnhardt Jr. drafting at Daytona. They may have passed Logano coming down to the line if they were allowed to race back. And they even had the tri-oval, from the middle of the tri-oval all the way to the backstretch to get slowed down with spotters. I think that would be easy. NASCAR's being too inconsistent with the calls, and they frankly probably cost Kurt Busch a race, and almost definitely Stewart Haas a race. And if I was Tony Stewart and Gene Haas, I would be mad. I would be in the NASCAR hauler this week at Martinsville. Again, strictly my opinion.